Previously on the Beam Chronicles.
We're a family. We love each other. We'll regroup.
You always do, don't you, Charlie?
If you would like to take this opportunity to cry.
No, I'll cry when we're done. I'll cry when I'm holding Jackson in my arms or he's gone.
Charlie died, Ty.
Yep. You alright?
Nope.
Have you seen the way this asshole looks at Charlie? Can you imagine the sick shit he's capable of?
Trust me, he can't. Use his precognition to get his way, that's the rule. The only rule, even if he tries, and I've seen him try. It never works out.
The forecasts have stopped. It's been nearly 3 months since I last forecasted anything, and that gap is substantially longer than any previous drought.
Suppose we told them about your lies and your schemes. Suppose we made them dislike you.
Fuck! We should have thought of this sooner. This is way better than killing you. Death is too good for you.
I can't take it anymore, Charlie. He killed Murphy, Charlie. I watched him kill Murphy. I'm just watching him kill 1 billion people with my body, my powers. 1 billion, Charlie. I couldn't even kill one. Now it's 1 billion. You gotta kill me, Charlie.
Next thing I knew, I was in some dark, metallic cave. Alone with Howard Prophet.
These are the Beam Chronicles, with your host, MJ Dooney. Book 3, Cataclysm. Chapter 22, Charlie Shayde.
I promise, Charlie, from here to the end, it's going to get better.
Charlie, what did you see? What did it show you?
My head was buzzing as I glanced around the room. A room I'd never been in before that moment, isolated with Howard Prophet. It was compact, dank, dimly lit, probably underground, and the only point of interest in any direction was the massive steel door, like that of a giant safe. Where are we, Howie?
Foon.
He excitedly, almost distractedly informed me.
This is the entrance to Foon's cell. It is how we've been feeding him and such all this time.
And why are we here? How did we get here?
You grouped us here, but Charlie, honestly, tell me what you saw.
I didn't see shit. I snapped, still trying to piece everything together in my head. You touched me, then I heard a weird voice.
Whose voice? What did it say?
I don't know who it was, and all it said was, from here to the end, it's going to get better. Then I came back to reality, and I was down here with you. What the hell's going on, Prophet?
From here to the end, it's going to get better.
He exuberantly repeated, grinning ear to ear.
Now, isn't that reassuring? And you're sure you didn't recognize the voice? You're certain it was nothing else? Think very hard. The details are frequently important.
Prophet, if you don't tell me what the fuck is happening in 2 seconds, I'm gone. And you can have a nice apocalypse alone in this tomb.
It was a forecast. I had a forecast. For the first time in months. Just now. Just there in that hall in medical when I touched you, it initiated. But somewhere in the middle of it, I realized I'd still never convince you to help me on my own. You'd never believe me that any of it actually happened. So I somehow pushed part of it onto you to prove it actually happened. What you heard, that voice. It was you experiencing a fragment of a forecast.
But no, that can't be right. I've been having experiences like this for the past hour or two. The weird tunnel thing with all the voices.
The tube. I call that the tube. It's where forecasts occur.
I was in it earlier today, miles away from you. Also memories, but super vivid ones, like I was actually living them again.
Yes, that's all part of it. Often forecasts are prefaced with memories that lend them context or relevance to ensure I'm getting the point I'm supposed to get from the occurrences that have yet to happen.
I did a quick mental recap of my contextual forecast memories. The first time I ever saw Howie show remorse, the first time I ever saw anyone demonstrate genuine love and compassion for him. Were they intended to soften my heart, humanize him, make me trust him? Didn't work. I lost an hour and a half during one of these memories. Just woke up an hour and a half later. He nodded reassuringly.
That's common. probably due to your inexperience with the sensation. In the early days, when I was unaccustomed to the process, it happened just about every forecast, the time skip. When I forecasted Tanaka, I lost a week.
But no, it's still not possible. That happened before you touched me. The memories. Like way before, hours before. If this was you pushing a forecast onto me in that moment...
The act of predicting the future doesn't exactly adhere to temporal cause-effect, Charlie. It often ripples backwards, sideways. There's no linear reasoning to it. Don't try to apply four-dimensional logic to that which is destined.
So why are we here? I repeated the most pressing question. Did you bring me here while I was out?
No, you were never out. We were only in the tube for 3 seconds. I've already told you, you grouped us here. You must have gotten the intuition to do so from the forecast, probably to kickstart the process. That's happened to me before, too. I wake up looking at a clue or a word I've written while I was in the tube or having driven across the country. The fact that we're here means we're obviously supposed to involve Tyler, get him to help in some way as well. I kind of anticipated that anyway. Now perhaps we should begin this by...
Stop. Finally, a clear thought came to me. No, I already told you I'm not helping you. He was startled, nonplussed, but overcame it quickly.
Things have changed, don't you see it? I just had a forecast. Destiny is back on our side.
You're asking me to kill Jackson because a spooky voice told me it would all work out?
No, I'm asking you to help kill Topo because a spooky voice told you it would all work out.
Oh, much better.
It was a forecast, Charlie. Don't you get it? I don't know why it came, or why now, or where they've been, but it's more guidance than any of us have had in months. You know as well as I do that things work out when we follow forecasts.
None of that matters to me. I told you I'm not helping. He uttered a few guttural noises, the foundations of words, but none of them managed to proceed into actual vocabulary. For once in his life, Prophet was out of ideas. For once in his life, he had nothing to say, only because he couldn't possibly understand why I was still refusing to save the world. I elected to be merciful, cut him down from the 1,000 nooses he'd tied for himself, trying to unravel my mystery. I've played this game before. You've already convinced me to give him up once, Howie. I'm not allowing you to do it again.
But it's different, don't you see? It's not me this time. I'm not asking you to give him up, Charlie. I'm removed from the process now. It's forecast. It's fate. Destiny is telling you this is the correct path to take. And you can say whatever you want about me. I'm sure there's not even enough time in the universe to finish that endeavor, and I'm sure everything nasty you say will be factually accurate. But forecasts have always led us in the right way.
You mean led you in the right way? He firmly shook his head.
No. All of us. They've never worked for my best interest. Well, sometimes they did, but not always, not exclusively. Hell, they often worked against me. I was beholden to them. My forecast saved your life and Jackson's and even Sydney's when Beam would have surely killed you all. They prevented me from eliminating any of you from the equation entirely when there were times, trust me, that I wanted to. Without them, you never would have found your love, your family, your one good thing. I am the link between them and the world, but they are not me, Charlie. I have no influence over what happens when a forecast is at play. They're something perfectly separate.
What does it mean? I asked coldly, ignoring his plea, staring at the vault in front of me. You're better at interpreting them than I am. It's going to get better. What's going to get better? How? I turned my head to face him. What does it actually mean?
Specifically, I don't know.
He ruefully admitted. Then can you at least understand how I'm hesitant to change my entire stance on the world in half a second because of one cryptic as fuck sentence? He slowly closed his eyes and pursed his lips.
Okay, how about this then? Consider the alternatives. If you don't help, Quez will find and kill Foon. The world will be destroyed, you and I will be gone, but Jackson will be all that's left. He'll be forced to sit in Quez Topo's head, watching, knowing everything he loved is ruined, waiting in pain for time to run out. But if you help me, if we let Foon kill Quez, you will have at least saved Jackson from the suffering. Even if you don't believe the forecast, which you have no reason to doubt, isn't it worth it just to ensure Jackson's peace?
I froze, frowning at him, because it was eerily similar to the line of reasoning that Jackson himself had used to almost sway me into killing him back at Quez Topo's obsidian lair. And as I cocked a suspicious eyebrow at Prophet, he sighed, relenting yet another from his volumes of secrets.
1 billion, Charlie. He couldn't even kill one, and now it's 1 billion.
Jackson's exact words. How the fuck did you know he said that? I asked, venomously level. He somberly explained.
It was one of my contextual experiences leading up to the forecast. You and Jackson, your brief encounter on the beach, I lived the whole thing through his eyes.
That was private. I sneered, wondering how many other intimate moments Forecast had given Howie a creepy peek into.
I know. I'm sorry. It was uncomfortable, for the record. I felt completely out of place the whole time, but Charlie, if...
He glanced at the ground, rubbed his palm across his mouth, and pounded his fist twice against his forehead.
Let me put it this way. Over the years, it became very obvious to me that Jackson was Ava's weak link. I always thought that of the three of you, Jackson was the frailest, the softest, the easiest to break or bend, but... not anymore. Because, my God, Charlie, sitting in his head, witnessing firsthand the terror of Questopo raging in his skull as he struggled and battled and clawed to stay in control, and all just to tell you that he...
Howie faded out, deliberated, cleared his throat, and shook his head.
I will never doubt his grit again. My small taste of what he's been going through was unbearable, yet he's bared it. The brief moment I spent experiencing what he's been living with was utterly draining on all levels. A lesser man, most men by now, would be deranged. Dribbling piles of wretched brokenness I myself couldn't stand any longer than the few minutes I was forced to endure, and the notion that he was still holding firm after a week of it is mind-boggling. And the concept of him being stuck in there forever. It is the worst sort of hell I could ever imagine. And you know damn well the twisted depths of depravity my mind is capable of sinking to. I know at this point it's utterly cliche, me convincing you of the mercy of certain deaths. But...
Stop. I interrupted him, back to glaring at the vault door. It was getting to be a lot to stand up to, and I was only still trying to stand up to it for terrible reasons. Jackson had given up. Sydney and Murphy checked out before we were finished, leaving me deserted to solve an unsolvable problem. There was my own sense of right and wrong, my duty to save the world, a push further amplified by Cal and Reggie. Destiny itself was begging me along this particular path, assuring me that it would all work out if I did. And now this undeniable logic that the torture of his own mind was too cruel to leave Jackson in, reinforced by Prophet's description of his brief experience sharing a head with the apocalypse. It was a lot. A lot of things driving me toward helping Howie and Tyler to kill Questopo. Quite frankly, I was almost just tired of trying to resist, but I still needed one more brick to call it a wall. I'll do it. I'll kill Questopo to save Jackson from the torment, to save the world. I'll help you, but only on one condition.
yes, anything.
You remember before all this bullshit started? When Jackson and Sydney and I were standing in your office describing what we were going to do to you? How we were going to expose your secrets and ruin your image and tell everyone the truth and tear you down from your pedestal before we finally did you in?
I remember.
That's what I want. I turned my face to him so he could tell I wasn't dicking around. I want you buried so deep you don't dig out. I want you to lose from all of this the way I've lost. Not just an arm, not just some pride. You need to lose something that truly deeply matters to you above all else. I want you, when this is all over, to admit that you were the entire reason it happened in the first place.
I've already admitted as much.
No, I don't mean to me. To everyone else. The entire world. I want you to get on a big fucking lit up stage with every fucking camera in existence broadcasting it on every fucking channel across the planet. You telling the truth. I want you to exonerate Jackson to restore his good name, draw all the attention away from him, and portray him as the victim in this that he was. I want you to tell them about Questopo, who and what he was, and then I want you to tell them that you knew it would all happen. Tell them that all of this was avoidable if it weren't for your power lust and your ambition. I want you to take full responsibility for it until they riot and rage and beat you down. Reduce you to insignificant, despicable, useless trash. He gulped, true fear jolting through his face, the worst possible thing I could ask of him. An utter exposure, complete airing of his dirty laundry, his precious legacy, torn asunder.
I mean, technically, it was not all avoidable. I am the orchestrator of this apocalypse. Yes, I knew of a vague concept of Questopo beforehand. I had no idea this would happen, Charlie. I had no idea Questopo was connected to Jackson, nor that he was literally a part of him.
Then lie. You're good at that. Tell them you knew everything and you didn't care. Hell, you tell them you unleashed Questopo intentionally in a misguided effort to get stronger. You shoulder all the blame. All of the baggage for this entire fucking mess, whether you deserve it or not, because trust me, somewhere along the line, if we tally up all your transgressions, you do. I want you to let the weight of this smother you, pulverize you. Do that, and I'll help. Do that, and I'll kill Foon after he kills Quez. I watched his chest heave in and out as he contemplated my proposition. Truthfully, he had no choice. If he didn't agree to it, he'd be dead anyway, and if he tried to weasel out at the end, I'd expose him myself. I presented it to him as a choice, but it wasn't one. A tactic he had famously used on me once before. And his mouth twitched into a crippled smile as it dawned on him.
Seems like we've gotten caught up in a game of inescapable ultimatum tag. Suppose I'm it now.
Don't tag me back.
It's a deal.
He nodded.
You keep Tyler under control, and I'll publicly take the blame when we're done. You have my word.
If you don't do it, I will.
I know.
And it'll be the end of you. He shrugged.
Better than the end of the world. Hey, I'll regroup.
You always do, don't you, Prophet? We shared an awkward smile, briefly forgetting or at least ignoring our rich antagonistic history. All right, your rodeo, I grumbled, leaning against the nearest wall and crossing my arms. Let's see that infamous recruitment process in action. Prophet nervously licked his lips, stared at the vault door, and stepped up to the control panel beside it. He dialed up some number into it, then swiped the ID card suspended on his belt. A retina scanner descended from the ceiling, and a palm scanner shot out of the control panel, simultaneously confirming for the third and fourth time that this was, in fact, Howard Prophet. Security was important when handling a dangerous asshole like Foon, especially one that had established a solid tendency to bust loose. A gloomy thought struck me in that moment that Prophet was the only one left who could fulfill this procedure. But I stuffed it away into the dark recesses of my mind where I put all the things I didn't want to think about. I could suppress anything. One of my many talents.
Mr. Foon?
Howie's voice confidently called out, apparently into an intercom system. Sure enough, Foon's responding cackle echoed through the tiny steel catacomb we were standing in. It was so familiar, yet I'd buried it forever ago, so it sent ripples through my spine like I was hearing a ghost.
Hello, boss man. Been a bit. Thought you plumb forgotten me.
Prophet looked askance at me, nervously clearing his throat.
I trust you've been following the news.
Sure, before the cable cut at least.
He has cable? I whispered. Prophet pretended he didn't hear me. Foon kept talking.
A rocky fine production, I must say. But you know that creep Nate Jackson teak, right?
We are aware.
Howie apparently didn't share my curiosity for how Tyler knew. Probably just evil dick intuition.
But listen, Foon, the situation has deteriorated drastically. The world will soon be annihilated by the monster inside of Jackson. We have no options left. So in my unparalleled desperation, I appeal to you for assistance.
He guffawed uproariously, without breaking to cough. It was only at this point I pieced together how cohesive his voice sounded. No wheezing or gasping. It seemed like he was pretty well hydrated.
Now don't get so modest with me, you skank. Was it desperation? What motivated you to come down here recruiting me the last 14 times you wanted me to kill Jackson?
If looks could kill, mine would have knocked Howie through 4 oblivions. He foolishly stammered through a flimsy explanation in a hushed voice, probably to keep Foon from hearing, but also because it was all the more his vocal cords were capable of vibrating, given his petrification under my glare.
I never asked him to kill anyone, I swear it. After I lost the containment of Jackson, I wanted some insurance within the team. Someone I could turn to in case something went awry. Something just like this. Charlie, please. I had no intention of...
I held a shaking finger to my lips to shut him up, then pointed back to the door, indicating he should keep going. Talking to me was only making things worse. Tyler obviously still needed to be swayed. Was I angry? Fumingly so. Livid. But in a way, it was a good reminder of how fragile this temporary alliance with Prophet was. An indicator that in spite of all of his service intentions, Howie's #1 priority was self-preservation. At the cost of everyone and everything else, he was still Howard Prophet. He was still the devil.
Listen, Tyler.
I'll say to you exactly what I said the last time, boss man. You don't want me out of this hole. I'm playing for your team. Don't care how much money or how much power you brandish in me face. I'm not your inside man. I'm not your ace in the hole. I'm not your bitch. And my fragile loyalties lie where they always have. Nothing's changed.
Howie lost the majority of his polished, practiced cool.
What the fuck is with the petty, stubborn, foolish insistences of you people in the face of true universal peril? Tyler, I am not asking you to be my inside man, you dolt. I'm asking you to help save the planet.
Don't trust your boss, man. So just as I said before, I'll join up with you when Jackson Teague himself asks me to, and given his current predisposition, don't reckon you got the means to meet that particular condition.
Prophet pounded his forehead once into the wall, clenched his eyes shut as he sighed.
What if Charlie Shayde asks you instead?
There was a lengthy silence over the intercom. I could imagine him down there stifling laughter, rolling his eyes, and it was enough to draw a sneer out of me, but when he eventually spoke, his voice was firm, insistent, borderline angry.
Charlie Shayde's dead.
I assure you she's standing right beside me.
Bullshit. Fuck you.
Howie eagerly glanced toward me, then nodded, insisting that I speak. I silently shook my head and he whispered back.
Forecast. Remember, there's obviously a reason why you're here.
It's true, Foon. I'm alive. Another elongated pause. Howie took the liberty of breaking this one.
Now, Foon, I was hoping perhaps there'd be an opportunity for us to...
Send it down.
I beg your pardon.
You want to negotiate here on my terms? I want a few minutes with Charlie. Alone.
Oh, the sick fucking piece of trash. Even Howie was appalled.
Tyler, listen, I do think that this process...
She can group to me, yeah? You don't even have to open the door. Nothing to lose for you here, boss man. But I ain't playing ball any other way. Simple as it gets. You want my help? I want Charlie.
What do you want with her?
Again, the response was static. He turned to face me as he disabled the intercom.
Shayde, listen, you don't have to... We'll find another way, all right? We have almost 2 hours left. That's plenty of time to get a new angle. We can find a way to talk him into it without you.
He gulped as the color drained from his face, then picked up his eyes to meet mine.
We'll find another way.
Don't worry, Howie, I think I already got one.
You do?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go beat the absolute shit out of him. And I grouped through the mile of solid steel to his prison cell before we could discuss it further. When I got inside, looked around for a minute, I was forced to scoff. Foon's prison was downright comfortable. Closer in size and function to our apartments at Beam than the lockups in the dungeons. Obviously, Prophet had been bribing him pretty hardcore. He had a TV, although that obviously didn't work anymore given the end of days outside, and a really impressive sound system. Some shitty British grunge band from the late 90s was softly rumbling away, even though Foon himself was nowhere in sight. But I could six him in an adjacent room. Figured I'd wait for him to come to me, give me the opportunity to cool off a little so I didn't decapitate him on sight. A further survey of the room revealed some pretty incongruous props. For example, there were jugs of water, 20 gallons apiece, just sitting along the walls of his living room, completely full. With some creative recycling, which I knew Foon had the capacity for, he could have easily used that much water to get out. Probably a testament to how luxurious his living conditions were that there wasn't a single dent in any of the walls. But perhaps most out of place were the books. Stacks upon stacks, shelves packed to capacity with, of all things, religious texts. There were a few Bibles, a Quran or 5, anthologies of Buddhism, Hinduism, Rastafarianism, religions I'd never even heard of, and every one I pulled out to examine had the same level of exhausted wear on them. The bindings were all bent to their breaking points, some well beyond that, and each was earmarked several hundred times, sticky notes with questions fluttering from the pages. The margins had more words in them than the text itself, all scribbled in some oddly legible handwriting. Comments, concerns, interpretations, a deep theological grappling from a man with time to grapple. Suddenly the crappy music cut out. I slammed the book I was leafing through shut, briskly replacing it on the shelf, spinning around to face him. He was in decent health, as I'd gathered from his voice, not the anemic, fragile figure that formerly resided in our dungeons. Surprisingly, in spite of his stockades of water, he wasn't at all blue. It was a Foon I'd never known, almost a real human being, but he sneered at me with the same derisiveness he did the day we met.
Well, I'll be damned. She lives after all.
It took every bit of meager restraint I had left not to group across the room, plant my foot firmly into his nutsack, and group out. But I put all that aggression into my ferocious scowl. Let's get super blunt here, Foon. Because there's not enough time left in the world to mess around. I don't know what you want with me. I also don't give a single fuck anymore. Maria is dead. Murphy is dead. Phil's hysterical. Sydney's dead. And the only reason I'm here at all is to ask you to help me kill Jackson. If we fail, everyone in the world dies. And if we succeed, everyone who matters dies. I will have nothing left in the universe that I care about. Even if we succeed, I'm going to be ruined. That's where I'm at. That's where this half-hearted appeal is coming from. This is my swan song, my ending. Nothing to lose, one last stand, guns blazing attempt to subvert the apocalypse, and even if it works, there will be nothing for me. But if there is one thing I still have left that I can do, it's saving Jackson from the torment of riding shotgun while Questopal plays Universal Conquest. So for that, for him, begrudgingly, I'm here. And I can't do the rest without you, but I would rather not do it at all than tackle your grind. So I'm warning you now, do not mistake apathy for desperation. If you think this gives you some kind of leverage over me, if you think I'm gonna suck your cock because I need...
Jesus Christ.
Don't interrupt me. I would rather let the world crumble to pieces around me as I kick your decrepit ass than fulfill your sick fucking fantasy and maybe save it. At least the first way I get to die doing what I love. Are we clear on that much?
Get over yourself, love.
He shouldn't have called me that. My blood was boiling as I grouped across the room and wailed on him across the face, and he growled, fell to his knees, then he cackled, wiping the blood away from his mouth as he rose.
I ain't out got the moisture to hold a stiffy anyway, Charlie. So as tempting as the offer is, not keen on spending my last few minutes on Earth pushing rope. Especially not with you of all people.
Is that so?
Again, get over yourself.
He pressed his shaking fingers against his bottom lip, checked for more blood.
You ain't my type.
I don't have time for this. I told you this would be blunt. Are you gonna kill Jackson or not?
If I do, first, I need you
to... No favors. He exasperatedly sighed at me, then finished his request.
Answer me one question.
Fine.
Where'd you go?
He asked me earnestly, burrowing into my soul with his bloodshot, dead eyes. What?
You ain't dead. Jackson told me you was dead, and you ain't. So all this time, 2 years, where were you?
I don't have to answer that. It's none of your fucking business. I'm not accountable to you. Enjoy Armageddon, asshole. And I turned my back to him, but didn't group away, hoping he would stop being such a piece of shit and help me save the world.
He loved you, Charlie.
You think I don't know that?
I don't think you realize how much he did. He loved you so much, losing you killed him. You destroyed him when you left. You just shattered his everything. You beat him into the ground, ripped him from the inside out. You took the best bloody man I knew and distorted him and twisted him, the most powerful man in the world, and you brought him to his knees, howling, scratching like a dog, and all you did was leave him lonely. Now, I ain't historically the best friend he's got. Far from it. I've done right shitty things to him, I'll admit that, but nothing even close to what you did. Truth is, you already killed him yourself 2 years ago, so if you really want my help finishing the job, you really want me to kill him again, and you ain't gonna tell me where you went? I at least need you to explain to me why. Why you lied to him, why you made him think you loved him, then up and ran off.
Fuck you. I growled over my shoulder, fighting back tears so he wouldn't see me cry. I promised I wouldn't cry until this was all over. Don't talk to me like you're his advocate. You don't know what the fuck you're even saying.
Then explain it to me, please, Charlie. If there's a good reason for it, I want to know.
And with that calm request, I absolutely lost my fucking mind. I grouped up to him, grabbed him by his shirt, and slammed him into the wall, and as he gasped like a fish, sucking wind, I snarled and drooled through the ravenous explanation he didn't deserve. Howard Prophet made me leave. Howard Prophet told me that if I didn't leave for 2 years, he'd torture and kill everyone I ever loved, Jackson included. Are you happy? Is that a good enough excuse? Does it satisfy your judgmental, accusatory assessment of the situation you're completely ignorant to, you fucking hypocrite? You don't know shit. You stupid, ugly asshole. You don't understand the first thing about me. You don't get to tell me that I'm not in love with him. I'll rip your throat out if you ever say it again. You think I don't know how much he loved me? Fuck you. I do. I know, because I love him just as much and probably more. I would do anything for Jackson. Nothing is more important. Howard Prophet asked me to die to save him. I would do it 1 billion times, and I wouldn't even blink. And now Prophet is making me ask you to kill him. Do you have any idea what it's like to beg you to do something like that? Do you have any idea how much it wrenches my guts to come down here and ask you? Of all the godforsaken cocksuckers in creation, I need to ask you to help kill my...
Charlie.
His face was so earnest, so sincere, I had to let him down off the wall. It took me aback because it wasn't pity, it wasn't remorse, it was something much more powerful than that. So much more rare and pure that seeing it on Tyler Foon sucked all the air out of my lungs, made my face feel cold. Empathy. True, deep, perfect empathy.
I'm sorry. Didn't know what I was saying, you're right. I'm an idiot. And for all you've been through, you deserve a fuck ton better than this lot. Both of you. Truly. To the core of me, with everything I got and everything I might get, I am so sorry, Pet.
That's when I cried. Finally, I broke down. After a week of wanting to do nothing but collapse into someone and sob until my eyes stopped working, I finally let myself do just that. I hurled my body around him, tugging the back of his shirt, burying my face into his bony shoulder, bawling. Like I hadn't since I was an infant. I didn't cry for Maria, or Murphy, or Sydney. I didn't cry when I was holding Jackson in my arms. Tyler Foon. The last place I thought I'd dump my crippling, unbearable, defeated sadness, and yet... almost literally the last place I could. I've lost everything, Foon. every fucking thing. I'm at the very bottom, and it's so dark, and I thought I knew the dark. I've spent so much time in it, I thought by now I was accustomed to it, but I'm not, and I'm scared, and my light is gone. He's gone, Tyler. He's gone. And he's not coming back. And I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. I'm exhausted, and I'm angry, and I'm completely and totally empty, perfectly alone. I have no one left. I have nothing.
You got me. And I know that ain't much, but you have my word as well that whatever it takes to the bloody finish, I'm at your back. I ain't blind to it, pet. I ain't stupid. I see things. You and Jackson have had lives full of cold injustice that surpass me own tenfold. And you still try so diligently to fight through the darkness instead of succumbing to it. Fact is, people like you need to pull through, or it's all fucked either way. That's why I won't let you give up like that. I can't. I won't let the world take a shit on you, break you the way it did me. I'm going to help you if it's the very last thing anyone does in this rectally humped universe.
You help me kill Jackson?
Nah. Maybe he never told you this, but I'm a romantic at heart. And I can't sit on by letting this love story go out like that. We're gonna save his life, Charlie. You and me. I promise you. I'm not gonna help you kill him. I'm gonna help you save him. I'm gonna do for you what nobody ever did for me. I'm gonna get your light back.
For a fleeting, glorious moment, I had something I'd been missing for years. Before that day, only one person in the world was able to give it to me, and now the last person I'd expect gave it to me again. The perfect, most beautiful gift of them all. Hope. I was rekindled, re-energized, sparked by his unfathomable promise. I had so much hope that maybe, just maybe, Tyler and I combined could bring Questopal down. And once he was grounded, that faintest sliver of hope that Questopal would give up the struggle. Having lost to the one opponent he designated from the start, he was a victim to his own pride. Time and again, it was the only thing that had slowed him down. Maybe we could use it against him one more time. Maybe. It was barely anything, yet for as far as I had fallen, it was everything I had. And all I needed. We might be together again. I'd gotten behind much dumber causes. Hey, you know what? I awkwardly stepped back from hugging my arch-nemesis, converted to current best friend over the course of 2 minutes. I just realized this is the first time I've ever seen you with a shirt on. Also, what's with the dry gig? You have full-blown Buddhist now, or, phone? He was a guy I was pretty accustomed to seeing in a near-death state, but never before that moment did he appear closer to a corpse. Which was weird, because again, he was also pretty adequately hydrated at that point, but the distant glassy emptiness in his stare combined with the rigidity in his muscles was about as unsettling as it could get. For a while, he just shook there, waiting to topple over. I tried again to break him out of it. Tyler? Upon hearing his name, he reached out to shove me away, but I anticipated it, ungrouped before he touched me. Foon bolted straight through me, and I regrouped after him to figure out what the fuck he was doing. Even the way he ran was eerie, scarcely flexing his knees, more of a loosely directed stumble than anything else. He collapsed on top of one of the tanks of water that lined his cell, gasping like a man lost in the desert, then feebly dragged his hand across the top of it, tipping it over so it spilled onto him. All of the water soaked into his skin, staining it a light turquoise. He moved on to the very next tank, now moving slightly more fluidly, but with the same bizarre urgency. Alright, rad. I watched him absorb the next tank of water. Shit, I was just asking, somewhat of a dramatic response, but hey, it's nice to see you take constructive criticism to heart. But when he stood up, spun to face me, it all stopped being a joking matter. Foon had taken up enough water to be translucent, dark blue, composed entirely of water, but not quite to the point of perfect clarity, like the last time Sid and I fought him in the rain. His state of blueness was not the cause for alarm, though. It was his eyes. Against the backdrop of his deep complexion, they stood out forcefully, Although they were so otherworldly, it'd be challenging to miss them either way. A shimmering, startling gold. As vibrant and drastic and terrifying as Questopo's blue. In fact, the similarity between Foon's eyes and Quez's eyes was somehow undeniable. Foon? I nervously asked. The watery being standing in front of me calmly shook his head. Fuck. Not again. He took a single step toward me before I disappeared. Adrenaline drove me to group all the way back to HQ, into Phil's lab. I sixed around for a moment, located the electromaces behind one of the garages, grouped inside and snatched 2 up. Then grouped back to where I'd left whoever the fuck was driving Foon's body now. Honestly, I should have known being nice to him was a recipe for something fucked to happen. I should have just beat the shit out of him until he agreed to help me. That was my original plan, and now I was resorting to that very same strategy. I blasted him across the face with a mace, and he howled as he spun into the steel wall of his catacomb. Upon contact, a loud, menacing hum rattled the room, powerful enough to knock a few books off the shelf, and soon after, another, larger jolt rippled into his body from the wall itself. The water beast bellowed loudly, collapsing onto the ground as steam poured off his back. At least now I understood why he hadn't attempted to escape. I stepped forward, about to thrust the flail into his neck and shut him down for good, but he flinched his hands over his head, cowering, pleading with me to relent. It caught me off guard long enough for him to speak.
Easy, easy. I'm a friend. I'm good.
It wasn't Foon's voice. Softer, maybe lower pitched, but most notably deprived of the Cockney British accent. I had no reason to trust it, but I did. Oddly, it sounded so warm and familiar that I had to believe it. Then suddenly I realized where I'd heard it before, just as he made his way up to his feet and confirmed it for me. 100%.
I promise, Charlie, from here to the end, it's going to get better.
Thank you for listening to The Beam Chronicles, a fiction podcast written and produced by me, MJ Dooney. I have Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and Twitter if you want to follow me. I actually have some ideas now. I've been saying that for 3 years, but I have some stuff I might put up there. You can rate me on Spotify and or Apple Podcast, and if you'd like to chat, beamchronicles@gmail.com. Also, Spotify comments. I kind of forgot that was a thing, but I've gotten quite a few people on there giving me little boosts. Thank you for those. I tried to respond to all of them, or at least put the little heart on them, but those make my day. Thank you. You can also send me a donation on Buy Me a Coffee by clicking support the show in the episode description. I'm going to continue the trend of shouting out random people in my life for supporting my dreams, because it was low-key fun to do it for my dad and for my wife. I don't know exactly who's still listening, to be honest, unless you're like talking to me about it. So if you know me and you're listening and you're like, I want a little blurb, text me. But anyway, this one goes out to one of my best friends since the new millennium, Patrick. If you're enjoying this story, you low-key owe it to Patrick, because half of the reason I started recording this audio version of the book was because Patrick kept telling me that he wanted a more bite-sized weekly version of the story instead of full-fledged novels. Fun fact, Patrick's mother is actually one of, I think, 7 people who know the story beyond what I've made into podcast form. She's read through the first half of book 4. Patrick has read nothing, but he was very true to his word about the podcast. One of the most consistent listeners I got who's not related to me, although he's basically my brother, with the exception of maybe my mom. Patrick was one of the more instrumental people in the actual writing of the stories, like 20 years ago. I'm sure he doesn't even remember this, but I definitely IM'd him a bunch while he was at work to ask him about plot points and dialogue and stuff. You guys remember AIM? He helped me a lot in the early days of writing. Oh, another fun fact, Patrick the Lobster was named after him, because he asked me to put a character named Patrick in the story. He also gave me the idea for the twist that the failsafe was a baby, but I reminded him of that last year when the episode came out, and he was like, no, I didn't. Anyway, love you, Pat. Thanks for being my pal since the 1900s. That makes us sound like colonial people. We met in 99. All music and sound effects were sourced from the Epidemic Sound Library. Special thanks to Janet Shasha for creating the cover art for the show. Find her on Instagram at ChiliBeanArt, and thanks again for listening.